Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Weekly NFL Picks with your boy B Buck and Tom Ria Sports. We are here again for NFL Week 8 2025 season. Here's our man Tom right here. How you doing, brother?
Big Buck, what's up, baby? I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing great, bro, especially after the week we just had. Because, guys, before we start this video, I do want to say we have a special announcement to make at the end of the video, and we are also doing a special giveaway at the end of the video. So please watch the whole thing. Stay tuned. And if you're interested, we'll throw down how you can win this giveaway at the end of the video. Guys, before we get into NFL Week 8 picks, I do want to go over a quick recap of last week. And guys, we've been talking about it for a long time. Mr. Tom did it. Mr. Tom Ria Sports did it. 32 of 45 right. 2 of 3 on the confident picks. I gave you an A+ with an exclamation mark, brother. He got in NFL Week 7, our previous video, 10 of 15 point spreads right. 9 of 15 of the over-unders right. And 13 of the 15 games correctly picked of who won. Amazing work, bro. And as far as me, not too bad. 26 of 45. Did get 3 of 3 on the confident pick, so I'm happy about that. Got to pick up that over-under numbers. But, guys, we've been looking for it for a while, and we finally did it. We're getting better every week. Finally cracked over 30 of 45 right. He got 32 of 45 right. Only 13 out of 45 wrong. That is so impressive, bro.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Hey, you had a great week, too. You honestly did. 26 of 45 is no slouch, but, yeah, dude, it was a good week. 71% is really, really dope. It was fun. It was awesome. It was exciting. I was going through it like Sunday night, like following each pick, and I was like, I think I'm at 30. And then after the Monday game, it was like the Seattle game. I went 3 for 3, which was great, but want to get better. Better, right? Like that's the goal every week. Maybe we'll get 35, 40, right? So we're always shooting for the moon, but I'm definitely happy with it. First 30 of the year, and I got a feeling there's some more coming for both of us. So super excited to announce this giveaway at the end of the video. So everyone stay tuned for that. And, yeah, man, let's go. Let's rock and roll.
I was going to say, let's come correct this week, bro, because, guys, if you watched last year's, it's finally come. It's time. The most bye weeks, the most teams on a bye of the entire regular season is this week, Week 8 NFL. There is only 13 games total because 6 teams are on a bye. There is only 39 picks this week total and 13 of each of the money line, over, under, and the point spread. So what does that mean? Obviously more teams on a bye, but more chances that if you sickos out there, and I know who you are, who like to do parlays, if there was ever a week to do it, I would think it's this week because, you know, there's only 13 games. You could almost pick every single game of who you think and confident. And when I was looking at it earlier in the week, Tom, there's some pretty heavy favorites this week, a couple lopsided games. So let's see how it pans out and see how we do. I have confidence, brother.
Yeah, there's a lot of high spreads. You know, we're going to get into it in a moment, but you're looking at it even before we went live. There's a lot of 7-point spreads and above. So these weeks with the limited buys, honestly, aren't my favorite weeks, truthfully, for the folks out there, just because I feel like with the less games, it makes it even tougher. But we're excited, we're prepared, and let's dive in. You want to kick things off?
That's it. More pressure, but we're up for the challenge. Guys, starting us off, NFL Week 8 2025 season is the Thursday night football game. Minnesota Vikings at the Los Angeles Chargers. All right, guys, when I look at this game, Chargers kind of been looking a little bit better on offense recently. You know, they had a good week last week. Vikings defense still doing their thing. I'm not sure. I think they're going to keep riding out with Wentz for the time being. Not completely sure on McCarthy's status. They played the Eagles pretty good. Eagles kind of needed a comeback game, so, you know, it says more about them than it does the Vikings. And as far as the Chargers, where were they? They played, where the heck are they?
The Colts last week.
Oh, they played the Colts, and then played them pretty valiantly. You know, 2 really tough teams. Both these teams in search of a win after playing 2 of the better teams in the whole league. It's in L.A., and I know the offensive line still isn't there, and then the defense still has a chance to do their thing. I kind of like the Chargers in this game here, guys. I think they get right this week. If they can get the run game going with, I think his name is Vidal, whatever. They were dishing the ball to everyone last week, so Herbert looked pretty good. And that defense just needs to make a few stops. I think the Chargers could pull this one out. Bit of a tough game. Be wary of it. As far as over-under, I'm actually going to say under, believe it or not, even if it ends around like 40-41, because we have 2 pretty decent defenses here, you know? And then I think the Chargers can win at home against the Vikings by more than 3 points. What do you think, Tom?
Yeah, I'm with you on all three fronts. I think Joe Alt might be playing, which would be a huge get for the Chargers O-line because they've been beat up everywhere, especially on the offensive line. So if he does play, that's a big change, big improvement for them. But their defense has been not as great the last few weeks, the Chargers. I wonder on a Thursday game if that's good or bad for them, just a quick turnaround. They gave up a ton of points last week versus the Colts, but I'm going to go with the Chargers. It's a rare non-divisional Thursday game, which is funny because there's been so many of them to this point this year. But I'm going to agree with you on all three fronts. I think the Chargers get a much-needed home victory. I think the under will hit, but it's going to be tight. This one I'd be careful of. But I'm going to take the under 44.5, and then I'm going to take the Chargers money line.
I know. I was going to say the same thing to you, bro. I guess they're not all division rival games. That's pretty funny, but still a cool game nonetheless. Guys, that might be one of the more trickier games because look at some of these spreads. Kicking us off in Sunday slate of games, the actual Sunday NFL Week 8 2025 slate of games, is the Buffalo Bills traveling to Carolina to take on the Panthers. Bills, I know they're coming out of the bye week. I know they dropped 2 straight before that, if I'm not mistaken. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, the Panthers could be on a 2 or 3 game win streak here. So, with that said, I think the Bills still win. I think coming out of the bye, they know this is a must-win game, in the words of Mr. Rhea. They know this one they need to take. But the Panthers aren't going to go down easy. What I don't like is that Bryce Young will most likely not play with the ankle sprain. I think they have Dalton in starting. And guys, Dalton scares me. I know he's had a few, maybe more than a few really good games, but he's also had more bad games than good, like in his tenure with the Panthers. So as much as I want to give the Panthers the +7, I'm actually going to take the Bills -7 here, guys. I think they can win by more than a touchdown. Panthers, great team, but having Andy Dalton back there is going to be a little tough, at least till he gets chemistry with those receivers. Rico Dowdle, obviously, if they can stuff him, might be all right. Bills offense going to come out firing. I'm going to say it's over-under scares me because I know the Bills can put up 21, 22. I'm actually going to say over, just because maybe the Panthers get like a garbage time touchdown, and the Bills' defense hasn't necessarily been the greatest this year. So I know 46.5 is a little high, but I'm going over. What do you think, Tom?
Yeah, it's funny. Once again, I'm with you on all three fronts. I like the Bills coming off a bye week, and it really is a must-win game in a lot of ways, especially with the Patriots coming on strong and playing another lesser opponent. Like, if they want to win a division, they got to win games like this, the Bills do. It is on the road, so I wonder how much Carolina can hang, but I think because it is Dalton, like you said, I wouldn't be surprised if the Bills' defense is able to generate a few turnovers, maybe a couple, like a sack fumble here or there, an interception, something of that nature. So I'm going to take the Bills -7. I am going to take the over here as well. I wouldn't be surprised if the Bills are able to get a 30 burger here at least, and then that would just leave Carolina needing to score 1 or 2 touchdowns really at that point, maybe a field goal as well. But I like the Bills -7. I like the over 46.5, and I like the Bills money line.
All right, man. This one I'm going to go through fast and first because I feel like you might have a little more to say about it. Guys, Giants just beat the defending Super Bowl champions 2 weeks ago, if I'm not mistaken, in the Meadowlands in New Jersey / New York. Now they travel to Philadelphia to take on the division rival again 2 weeks later, which is pretty cool. Giants playing very, very impressive recently. Scatterboo doing his thing. Defense not doing too bad. And then obviously Jackson Dart holding his own. Definitely looks like the better QB of the 3 they have. Eagles kind of showed last week what they can do when they play a little more serious and dish the ball a few more times, take a few more risks. I could be wrong, and the Giants could beat them again, but something's telling me I think the Eagles' game plan for this one, especially since it wasn't not too long ago they just played this exact team. I think the Eagles win this one at home. I think they can win it by more than 7.5. I feel like the better option would probably be giving the Giants the 7.5, but for some reason, I see it playing out in my head that like the Eagles win this one handily. And then I think, oh man, I could see it being like 30-10, the Eagles winning and it going under. But I'm going to say over strictly because the Giants have put up points the last 2 weeks and the Eagles just put up points last week. So I think this one can go over 43.5. What do you think, Tom?
This one's tough, man, because we just won against them 2 weeks ago, coming off a crushing, heartbreaking, season-altering, whatever you want to call it, loss in Denver. I don't really want to talk too much about it. Just one of the worst losses I've ever seen. And now Philly's coming in. You know they haven't forgotten what happened a few weeks ago. There was a ton of noise after that game, right? You had Dart and Scatterboo and everyone dancing. It was prime time, and exciting and all this stuff. So I imagine Philly's excited just more than they were a few nights ago to play us, right? So I'm with you. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if Philly won this game pretty handily and played like much better and make the necessary adjustments and all that. I just think this Giants team, it's not the same old Giants. I don't think they're going to win this game. I'm not picking them to win, but I am picking them to cover. I think they'll hang in there. I do think they'll hang in there. I think it'll be a little bit around a touchdown or less type of game. I wouldn't be surprised if it's not, so be careful again out there, folks. But I think the Giants will find a way to hang in there and cover this 7.5 point spread. I like the over as well. I think they'll be somewhere in the 20s. I wouldn't be surprised if this game finishes in the 27 to 23 type of range, like something like that, with the Eagles winning, though. I am taking the Eagles money line, but I like the Giants to cover on the road, and hopefully they're not too dejected after the loss last week, but I think they know they can beat these guys and they're not scared of Philly anymore.
Dude, if it makes you feel any better, we both got all 3 picks in the Giants-Broncos game correct last week. So, guys, if you watch our videos and you want insight on historic NFL games and crazy finishes, me and Tom went 3 for 3 on it last week.
That one we got pretty fortunate.
Yeah, we
I was
took...
watching, I was like, oh, shoot, Broncos' money line's not going to hit. And then next thing, once start the interception, I was like, oh, great, we're going to lose the game. And so happy for the fans and myself as far as picks go, but of course seeing your favorite team lose like that's never fun.
It's tough, but they have looked better recently. All right, guys.
Sure.
The New York Jets, who are still searching for their first win against the Cincinnati Bengals, who just pulled out. Did they win that game? Yeah, they did, right? Against the Steelers?
Oh, they won. They won.
Oh, yeah.
You know who picked them. You know who picked them, all right, folks? If you were watching last week, go back. Who had the Bengals plus 5.5, Bengals money line, and Bengals over, the over in the game. So you're damn right they won.
Dude, when we started this year, I was like, man, I hope we have as good of a year as we had last year, and we've started pretty strong so far. Fingers crossed. We do this for you guys. We're out here watching majority of the games, and we love football. But now we got the Jets traveling to the Bengals. Flacco didn't look too bad. Can he continue doing that, even against a middle-of-the-pack, middling Jets defense? I believe they're changing over to Tyrod Taylor finally this week. You know, that might be a little bit of a spark. I'm not sure what Garrett Wilson's status is. I think he might still be hurt. So with that said, I think the Bengals win this one, guys. Sorry, Jets fans. It's kind of a tough spot, especially on the road in Cincy. And the Bengals just kind of found a newfound confidence. Over under 44.5. Man, you know what? I'm going to go over this time because, you know, there's not much film on Tyrod with the Jets. Maybe they have a couple crazy plans for him. I think the Bengals can put up 20 with 2 of the best receivers in the league. And as far as the Bengals winning by more than 6.5, you know what, guys? I'm doing it. I just feel like the Bengals are in a better spot to win this game. They can definitely win this game by more than 6.5 against the Jets. It's a tough first game for Tyrod Taylor and the Jets in general. What do you think, Tom?
It is a tough one just because it looked like the Bengals might have found something offensively, and they had the extra time off now, coming off the mini bye after playing on Thursday. The Jets are running out of time to win a game. I mean, they have this game, they have the Browns next week at home, and then after that, they don't have many winnable matchups other than the Dolphins and the Saints later in the year. So they better start figuring some things out. I don't think they're going to win this one. I'm going to take Jets plus 6.5, though. I think they'll stay relatively in this. But I'm going to take the under 44.5 as well. Ooh. And then I'm going to take the Bengals money line. The Jets defense has played better the last few weeks. I mean, they held Carolina to 13 points, Denver, I think, to 12 or 13 points, right? So they've played pretty well. It's just their offense has been absolutely atrocious, just to put it lightly. So I don't think they're going to get this win, but I think they'll keep it close. It'll be a relatively low-scoring game, but I do think the Bengals will win at home.
That's it, man. All right, so what do you think about, you think Dylan Gabriel keeps his job so far, or are they going to start Shakar soon?
I still think Shador is going to eventually get in the starting lineup, but not yet. He was able to win last week. I was one of the few. I was totally wrong on that game. But
I
they
was
have
too.
The Jets the week after that. So if they lose that game, that's where you might see Shador come in, which will get interesting. But for the time being, as we're on the Patriots-Browns game this week, I'm going with the Pats. I'm not going to pick against them. That's my squad. That's been my squad before the year started. As far as the -7 number, it's a little worrisome for me, but because it's in New England, I'm going to take that. I'm going to take New England -7. I'm going to take the over 40.5. I think that's a really low number. And I'm going to take Patriots money line.
You know what, man? I'm kind of with you on all three. I know this over-under here is kind of scaring people because of two very good defenses, but Drake May has shown and proven a lot so far this year, and I like the Patriots to win this at home. I think it can go over 40.5 because I think the Browns can maybe put up 15 to 20, and I know the Patriots can. And then as far as the -7, they're at home. They're the better team. I think the Patriots can cover that 7. Moving on, Miami Dolphins at Atlanta Falcons. Falcons, tough loss against the Niners there. And then the Dolphins obviously just lost to the Browns. But two teams in search of a win in the Southeast. Man, I think the Falcons have proved, and I'm not sure, check the status on Penix. I know he kind of twisted his foot, the ankle, towards the end of that game there, but I think he should be good to go. I like this over. I kind of like this over 44.5, so I'm going to circle that one. I think Falcons should be able to win this one unless the Dolphins somehow come out and pull out a miracle. Bijan running wild. As far as winning by 7.5, man, yeah, I like the Falcons to cover more than 7.5. Pretty predictable, pretty boring picks for me so far, but hey, I'm just going with my gut and my mind. What do you think, Tom?
Yeah, I'm kind of with you. It's definitely boring, but I like Falcons -7.5. I think this could be the game McDaniel gets fired from the Dolphins, unless they keep him because they just are tanking, essentially. I wouldn't be surprised though if this one gets ugly, that he gets ousted on Monday morning. We'll see, though. But taking Falcons -7.5. I'm taking the over as well. I think Falcons are going to run the ball all over Miami. Miami can still put up some points here and there, especially in the Dome. I'm sure Tua will play better than he did last week outdoors, but I'm going to take Falcons -7.5 over 44.5 and the Falcons money line.
Falcons money line. Guys, judging by this line here in the Chicago Bears traveling to Baltimore Ravens, it looks like Lamar Jackson's going to play, or they know something we don't, because the Ravens, who are 1-5, 1-6 now, are heavy favorites against the 4 wins in a row Bears, who haven't been playing too bad. Even with Lamar, guys, I think it's going to be a little closer than some people think. You know what I mean? The Bears have played good. The Ravens have not played too good, even with Henry and whatever. So, and the Bears defense isn't too bad. So all they really need to do is stop them and kind of get a few things going good on offense to compete. So I like the Bears getting 6.5. I kind of like ready for this? I like the Bears to win outright. That would be insane. What are they on 4 or 5 game win streak at plus 235? I like them to win outright. And as far as over under 49.5, I'm actually going to take the under. I feel like it's a little high, even if it ends at 45. I don't know if it goes over 50. I didn't like the way the Bears offense looked last week. I know they've been playing against the Saints, and I said how good the Saints have played competitive all year, even though the record doesn't really show it. But this is another one of those games where I don't know if it's going to be like the easiest day of all time for the Bears or the Ravens. So I can see it going under. And guys, did want to throw in there real quick tidbit. Having the Bears at plus 235 here on Wednesday night as we're recording this, if for whatever reason Lamar doesn't play, those lines are going to change dramatically. So keep an eye on that. And if you want to take advantage of that line, if you have more info than we do, just keep an eye on that one. What do you think, Tom?
Yeah, I love that pick. I think Lamar was limited, so usually when a guy's practicing, I'm expecting him to play. They're coming off a bye. I believe they had a bye last week. So I do think he's going to play. I just think 6.5 is a little bit high, especially considering he hasn't played in weeks, and when he did play, they weren't winning games. So I'm taking the Bears plus 6.5. I'm taking the under as well. I am going to take the Ravens money line, though. It kind of hurts me because I love this Bears team, and I've been excited about them, but they have had a pretty easy portion of their schedule. They did win 4 in a row. Credit to them. But this one on the road with Lamar coming back, I think it will be a little bit tougher for him. I do think it'll be a close game, but I think the Ravens will pull out a win and look to save their season as it's on the verge of being over.
I don't blame you, bro. I say when Lamar's on, he's on. So that Ravens offense could be anything. We're going to find out once he comes back into what capacity he's good and healthy. What's it called? 49ers, Texans. 49ers traveling to Houston take on the Texans. 49ers just beat the Falcons, and then the Texans got pretty whomped on against Seattle on Monday night. So Texans short week, and they're losing. I'm not sure about Nico Collins' status, but he just got a concussion 2 nights ago, and it looked pretty bad. So it kind of indicates that he's probably not going to play, I'm pretty sure. Texans defense did get a lot of turnovers. I will give them that. Texans defense is for real, but their offense, and Tom said it like in like week 3, has just not looked that great this year. And then on the other side of that coin, 49ers defense played pretty good, even with a couple backups, a lot of backups against the Falcons. And their offense has looked pretty darn good, if I say so myself, as a Niners fan, with Mac Jones at the helm. So this line is kind of weirding me out. I'm not sure why the Niners aren't the favorites here. It is in Houston, you know what I mean? And both teams are a little banged up, so it's more of a pick 'em. But judging just by last week in recent games, guys, I like the Niners to win this one outright. They got Kittle back. Not sure what Pearsall's status is, but he might play this week as well. I like the Niners getting the 1.5 since I like them to win outright. And as far as over under 41.5, yeah, Texas defense is good, and Niners played a good defensive game last week. But Niners defense has let up huge plays and a lot of points a few weeks before that. And I feel like the Texans are somewhat vulnerable if they can't keep control of the ball on offense and keep giving it over to Mac Jones and the potent Niners offense. So I kind of like this over here too, guys, even in Houston. What do you think, Tom?
Yeah, I love the analysis. So it sounds like Mac Jones is going to continue being the starter, right? I don't know the whole situation, but it's worked to this point, and I agree with you. I thought this was a weird spread from the jump, so I'm taking Niners plus 1.5 as well. I just think they're a better team overall than the Texans are. Simple as that. Texans offense it's a tough watch, and Stroud just hasn't looked good. Last year wasn't great either, so it's kind of carried over. Their defense is awesome, though. They have a very good defense, so that's why I'm going to actually take the under here. Under 41.5. I do think this will be a relatively low-scoring game, somewhere around like the 20 to 17 type of range. But I'm going to take the Niners money line on the road plus 1.5 and the under 41.5.
I will say, when the Niners have like 2 or 3 turnovers in a game, they've lost every one. They've had more than 2 turnovers, but that was with Purdy, because Mac Jones has been pretty safe with the ball, somewhat safe with the ball so far in his time this year. Starting the 4 o'clock slate of games is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in search of a win after their loss to the Lions, which me and Tom called as one of our confident picks, and guess what? They came through for us. And then they're versing their division rivals, the New Orleans Saints, in New Orleans. Mike Evans, very unfortunate, concussion and a broken collarbone. Ibuka's back. He's trying to get healthy. And then obviously the Buccaneers defense looked very good. Even against the Lions, Buccaneers defense is no joke. With that said, I've been saying it all year. Saints have been pretty competitive in a lot of their games this year. I do think that the Bucs pull this one out. There's no reason they shouldn't win. Even though, ready for this one, crazy one, I'm gonna give the Saints the plus 4.5. Just because of how good they've played a few very good teams this year. As far as over under 46.5, man, if Evans was there and Bucky Irving was there, what's Irving's status? He's still out?
He's out. He's out. He's not going to come back till after the bye.
If he was there, I could see this game definitely going over because the Saints are definitely capable of putting up 20 points a game. But I'm going to say under, guys. I'm going to say under 46.5, and I feel like maybe the Bucs defense has to keep them in this one, and then the Buccaneers only need to put up 15 to 20 to try and win this one. What do you think, Tom?
Yeah, I'm going to sag a little bit from you here. The Saints have given up at least 20 points to every team they play this year. The only one they did was the Giants, and the Giants had 5 turnovers that game, drove all up and down the field, and scored the first 2 drives, so very well should have in every game. Buccaneers have a much better offense than us and most of the teams they've played, even without Godwin and Evans and Bucky Irving and those guys. They also had a tough showing last week on the road to Detroit. So I expect them to come out and play much better offensively. I like the Bucs minus 4.5 here on the road. I like the over 46.5. And, of course, I'm going to take Tampa Bay money line.
Tampa money line. I like it, man. I like it. All right, Tennessee Titans at the Indianapolis Colts. Colts keep on rolling here. And the Titans versus the Patriots and got beat up. All right, so we'll get this line here. We got one of the best teams in the league versus one of the worst teams standing in the league right here. Not the worst, because that's the Jets. We do need to remind people about that. But, one of the worst with the Titans. So I think the Colts win this one pretty handily at home. I think it goes, man, I'm going to save that one for last. Do I think they can win by more than 14? You know what? I do. If there was ever a game to just let loose and, just maybe even win by like more than 30, 20 points, this could be the game for the Colts. Free game unless they pull their starters and take a huge lead. Over under 47.5. You know what? At first it was a little high and scaring me, but when you get lopsided games like this, guys, kind of like the Chiefs game last week, I could see the Colts just putting up like 30 to 40 points on their own this week, you know? So I'm actually going to take the over. Maybe the Titans keep it competitive, and that helps my over hit anyway. What do you think, Tom?
Yeah, right. This game, you want to say trap alert, you really do. But the Titans are so inept, and the Colts are so damn good. I mean, they put up 38 in LA last week against the Chargers. They just look like a powerhouse right now. They've got a lot of things working on offense, so I'm with you. I'm taking the Colts minus 14. I'm taking the over 47.5. I think the same's going to end up being somewhere Colts winning 35 to 20 or 40 to 20 or something like that. Maybe even less points for the Titans, but ultimately, I think the over will hit. I think the Colts will cover, and I like them to win. They're minus 1350 money line. Oh wait, that is quite the number there. But we're going with them to get it done at home and continue their prowess.
What do you think? You want to take this Cowboys-Broncos one first? This is a fun competitive game for this lopsided
Yeah, let me
slate.
take it. I've been kind of high on the Cowboys this year, or this season, right? Like I had them last week.
You called them against the Commanders.
And all that stuff, and
yeah.
They look great. Now they're going into Denver. Denver just had one of their worst defensive performances in a while against my Giants, which was nice to see. Unfortunately, didn't close it out. But this is an interesting game. I'm going to start with the over-under. That number's too high for me. I know Denver can score. I just think, both Dallas can score. Denver kind of struggles offensively. I mean, they got hot in the fourth quarter. A lot of that was just a gas Giants defense. Obviously, Cowboys defense is garbage, but I think it's going to be a lower scoring game. So I'm going to take the under 50.5 here, and I'm also going to take the Cowboys plus 3.5.
Wow,
I think this will be a pretty close game. Denver hasn't impressed me too much, but I don't think this is going to be a really high scoring one. I think this is going to end up being somewhere like 24 to 20, 24, 21 type of outcome, but I do think the Broncos will win at home.
Okay, wow, I was not expecting that, but hey, he called it last week, guys, and he got 32 of 45 right. That was surprising, but I respect it. See, when I look at this one, Cowboys have looked a lot better. They have CeeDee Lamb back, and they are slinging it. Dak looks like one of the better QBs in the league once again this year. With that said, the Broncos defense, like Tom said, they did give up 30. They haven't really lived up to their entire reputation yet this entire year, but that Broncos offense is starting to click a little bit more. They're just slinging it more. They have a lot of huge receivers, tall receivers, great tight end, an inept, very capable QB, but so do the Cowboys. So I think the Broncos are a little bit of a better team here, especially at home. I think the Broncos win it. I think the Broncos can win by more than 3.5, so I am going to take that and hope for the best. Over under 50.5, I usually don't do this, and I love what Tom said right there about the defense and then the Cowboys, holding. But I'm just kind of banking on maybe a shootout in this one. But the Broncos defense is good enough to maybe hold the Cowboys to 20 or less. But I'm taking the over and hoping for a huge shootout in this game, a fun shootout against two classic teams. Moving on, we have the 8 p.m. Sunday night football game this week is the Green Bay Packers at the Pittsburgh Steelers. Aaron Rodgers versus his old team, man. That's kind of like the whole highlight and build around this game. And the Packers, they just versed the Cardinals. They got the win. They're not looking too bad. Defense kind of did what they needed to do. Steelers, obviously, they just lost to the Bengals. But I will say the Steelers' offense were putting up points in that game as well. I know it was against the Bengals and not the Packers, but, Packers aren't the defense that they were in week 1 or 2. They're just somewhat very good, not great. Oh, man, this one's a little tough because I want the Steelers to pull a miracle, and I love the underdog in this game, and I love the storyline to it. But, guys, I think the Packers win this one on the road. I think it does go over 45.5. It just squeaks it, because we have two pretty capable defenses here. And I think the Packers can win by more than 3. At least that's my take. What do you think, Tom?
This is tough. Man, talk about two classic franchises. You're saying that's the last game. Steelers, Packers, those are two classic franchises as well. So, pretty fun matchup. Not one you see all the time. In a primetime slot on Sunday night. Steelers coming off a tough loss, but having their little mini bye. Packers haven't really impressed me, although they're 4-1-1. Other than that Lions game week 1, they've had some weird games. And Dallas was a tie. The Cardinals with Jacoby Brissett, they nearly lost that game. The Bengals game wasn't super impressive. I don't know exactly what to expect out of them. truthfully. Like, I really don't. In an outdoor game in a tough environment, because of that, I'm gonna take the Steelers +3. I'm gonna take them to cover that spread at home. I'm also gonna take the over 45.5. But I am going to take the Packers money line. This is a really tough one to pick. A lot of these games haven't been as easy as I thought they would be, at least when I first took a glance. But I'm going to take the Steelers to cover, over to hit, and I'm going to take the Packers to eke out the win on the road.
Aaron Rodgers, this means a lot to him, especially now that he has a somewhat better offense for a different team. All right, guys, Monday night game is the Washington Commanders at the Kansas City Chiefs, the new and revived and revamped Kansas City Chiefs. And Commanders, it looks like Daniels isn't going to play. McLaurin's been out for a little bit. I'm not sure if this is the week he comes back. Chiefs have kind of been rolling here, man. I know the Commanders have pieces on offense, but, Mariota against Mahomes, I think it's going to be a tough ask. I like the Chiefs to win it. Over 46.5, if the Chiefs just shut out the team they played last week. I believe it was the Raiders, and me and you thought the Raiders were going to cover 11.5. So that defense, when they're on, they're on. I'm actually, just because of that, I'm going to go under. Man, like you said, there's just some tough ones this week. I thought it was going to be easier than it was. Hopefully this pans out, but I'm actually going to go under, guys. Maybe the Chiefs win this one like 25-10, something like that. And then just, once the defense does their job, they'll just ice the game. And then do the Chiefs win by more than 12.5? You know what? I think they do. At home in another primetime game. I feel like they're on television every single week in these like highlight spots. You didn't notice that? It's like Sunday night, Monday night. It's crazy. But I think the Chiefs win by more than 12.5, and I think they get it done. What do you think, Tom?
Yeah, it's a quick one for me. I like the Chiefs minus 12.5. No Jade Daniels. Mariota's playing. And Mariota's somewhat capable, but I think the Chiefs defense is going to give him a lot of trouble, especially in a tough environment. I like the under as well, the under 46.5. I feel like a lot of these Monday games have been finishing under, at least recently, for whatever reason. But the Chiefs also just blanked the Raiders, so I don't expect the Commanders to put up a ton of points. And I'm obviously going to take the Chiefs money line, so it's a pretty quick one for me, but I like the Chiefs across the board.
Dude, it's so funny that you say that because I need to go back and look at it. But every Monday night recently, I'm like, do not take my picks on the Monday night games. Not yours. Yours have been hitting, but I have had the worst luck with Monday night games this year. Oh, it's brutal. Speaking of, guys, one of the special announcements that we have at the end of this video is after next week, so after week 9, we are going to be dropping a special mid-season recap episode, strictly recap of all of our picks leading up to this point after week 9, see how we're doing. I'm pretty sure it's not bad. Hopefully these next 2 weeks are good. We're going to go over our early playoff predictions, see how they're looking as well, and we're just going to look forward to the future of the season, you know what I mean, and see where people go from here and tell you guys how we feel about the rest of that. And also, guys, the moment you've all been waiting for, starting this week, because in spite of Rhea getting over 30 right, we thought we'd be a little generous to our viewers and all of you who have been along for the ride so far this year and in the past as well. We want to do a special giveaway of $30 through Venmo or Zelle to the first person watching this video who comments down below which of our picks, which of our 3 picks, it could be any one from either Tom or myself, do you feel confident about this week in NFL Week 8? Comment them down below, the pick, and which one of us made the pick, and be the first person to do that, and we will send you through Zelle or Venmo $30 as our special giveaway to put in that parlay yourself and make the bet yourself. And also make sure you like the video and make sure you're subscribed to us, and then drop the comment down below. Please do not put down any personal information, no phone numbers, no emails. We will reach out to you directly, whoever the first comment, to drop 3 picks from our video today with the name and the pick in the comment below, and make sure you're liked and subscribed, and we will send you $30 through Zelle or Venmo to put in the bet yourself. Did I get that right, Tom?
Yeah, that's perfect. And just everyone for added information too, like we plan on doing more of these as the season goes on, right? Like we want to do more giveaways and we'll increase the ante and change it up and do different things. This is just the first one, hopefully the first of many. But yeah, like Buck said, like, subscribe, be the first to comment, tell us your picks, your 3 picks, and who picked them out of me or Buck, or if it was one of us that you went and trusted all 3 on, right? Whoever it may be, but we want to hear it. We want to hear back from you guys in general. So looking forward to this. Honestly, excited for it and excited to continue doing this and give away more and more as time goes on.
That's it, guys. I really appreciate all the love and views we've been getting, all the comments. I'm going to say it also in the midseason recap, but let us know what you think, who you think's going to win this week. If any of our picks in the past have helped you or hurt you, who you like this week, who you think's going to win, what the point total is going to be. Let us know. Just like, subscribe, tell us any kind of input, questions, or suggestions you have as well. We do this for you guys. We do this because we love football, and we're here for you. No, we're all open ears and eyes and very excited for this giveaway.
Absolutely. Well, hey, as always, remember, folks, bet with your head, not over your head.
That's it. The words of advice right there from Mr. Tom himself, the guy who got 32 of 45 right last week, guys. So let us know what you think. Good luck to all of you, like always. Good luck this week. Good luck to the giveaway winner. Good luck to your teams and life in general. Please be safe. Hopefully it's a great week of football and life in general. And we will see you guys again next week for NFL Week 9 picks. Like always, Wednesday night. B-Buck and your boy Tom Ria Sports, NFL picks.
Thanks, everybody. Like, comment, subscribe. You want to hear everything. Good, bad, ugly, different. Hear it all. First one to get that special giveaway. Excited for you as well. Take care. Best of luck, everybody.
That's it, guys. All right, have a great night. See you again soon. Peace out, brother.
Peace.